Did I just turn my iPhone into a telescope or something? Well, kinda. This is the Sandmarc 10x Telephoto lens. It's 329, it's massive, it flares like an old cinema lens, and sometimes it gives you the results so good you won't believe they came from your phone. But would you actually use it? Let's talk about it in 3 parts. Yes, no, and maybe. Let's start with the good stuff first, because when this lens works, it really works. I've gotten results with this thing that honestly blew me away for a minute. Medium distance portraits, subject isolation, and even, dare I say, compression is real. It actually feels like using a legit 240mm lens, or something close to it. Sandmarc says that the minimum focus distance is from 5 meters to infinity. But in practice, I've noticed that you can actually focus starting from like 1.4, 1.5 meters, and at that range, with good light and right shutter speed, the images can look fantastic. And not just for a phone fantastic. From my experience, it excels at these things. Framing tighter compositions without standing awkwardly close, getting the beautiful background separation without using the portrait mode, shooting discreetly from a distance with real compression. And I don't throw around the word cinematic these days, but for me, that creamy telephoto look is where this lens earns its keep. But now we are here, and this is where things get real. 329 bucks. That's not nothing. And for that price, you're not getting plug-and-play experience, let me tell you that. The lens is big. It's not just a lens you toss in your pocket. Mounting it requires a case with 17mm threads, just like all Sandmarc lenses and some similar ones. And the included case? Well, let's say it's minimal. Maybe even too basic. No MagSafe, and the protection is kinda meh. I actually prefer my newer case, which works better overall and feels better in the hand as well. Then there's focusing. Only manual. I have no issues with that because I use manual lenses all the time, but you should know, it is slow. And while the focus ring is well dampened and feels like it's in the right place when you're holding it, you will definitely need some practice to nail it. You will 100% need the third-party app to really take control. Native app just doesn't cut it. Also, the stabilization. I would say don't count on it too much, especially considering that this is 240mm equivalent. I'm not saying it's impossible and I managed to make it work, but keep in mind that Apple's 1x camera was not originally designed for anything like this to be attached to it. So this lens is really pushing it to the limit. If you decide to put on a 5x camera to get even more reach, well, it's a tripod-only territory. And if you're thinking about infinity focus for landscapes, you should remember that the iPhone has fixed wide-open aperture. On 1x camera, results are soft, glowy edges and shallow depth of field, which doesn't work for flat distance scenes. Or maybe it's just my copy, I don't know, but from all of my testing, I got similar results every time. Also, flare. And not subtle flare, massive flare. I actually love it, it kind of adds character, but if you want clean clinical images, it's really dependent on the light and positioning. So, would I use it? Honestly, for me it's a maybe. But it's a maybe that leaning more towards yes, if you know what you're doing. This lens is very specific. If you're a mobile photography enthusiast with some disposable income, or you just love tinkering and don't want to lug around a dedicated camera for some reason, this could be for you. But as you can see already, there are limitations to it. This is not for casual shooting, this is not for point and shoot experience. And this is definitely taking some methodical thinking. This lens asks you to slow down, frame carefully, nail your focus, plan your shots. And when you do all of that, the reward can be amazing. But if you just want something simple and practical, I would suggest you try Sandmarc's 10x Telephoto or their 100mm macro or something similar. Those are a lot easier to recommend. Just for fun, here's Sandmarc's 10x Telephoto lens next to 10x. The difference is just dramatic. The 2x is tiny, convenient and very practical. It's kind of a lens I would recommend to almost anyone to try at some point. But it doesn't give you that long lens drama, the compression, or that isolation that 10x can achieve. So it really comes down to this. 2x is a safe and reliable option, and 10x, high risk, high reward. The Sandmarc 10x isn't a must-have, but it's a very cool to have, if you got the right expectations, of course. You're buying into a niche tool, one that can turn your iPhone into something surprisingly powerful, but only if you meet it halfway. So would I use it? Sometimes. In fact, all of the talking head part of this video were shot with iPhone 16 Pro and this 10x telephoto lens. The camera is really far, I'm blinded by the light, it's hot, and it's crazy. If you enjoyed this breakdown, leave a like, drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe if you're into practical mobile gear and honest photography tools. Thanks a lot for your time, and I'll see you in the next one.